In this video, I want to go through installing GNU Emacs on Alpine Linux and also setting up the Emacs daemon with OpenRC. So installing GNU Emacs on Alpine is pretty straightforward because it's neatly packaged, as you would expect. So we can just type apk add and then Emacs, or rather let's search for Emacs because there are multiple versions of Emacs. Let's pipe that into last. So we have the standard Emacs package, and this is actually a bit confusing, I found, because normally you would think, okay, let's just apk add Emacs and be done. But this doesn't actually add the Emacs binary, but like common files, I think it's called. So that's actually not what's needed. What's needed is one of these. For example, here, Emacs GTK3. Or what I think I'll be installing is Emacs PGTK, so pure GTK. And these are just different types of graphical interfaces. Or for example, Emacs Nox doesn't come with any graphical interface, so you only have the terminal version. Yeah, so I'll be installing Emacs pure GTK. So what I'll do is do as apk add and then Emacs pure GTK. Oh no, no, wrong. I wanted to install the pure GTK version with native compilation because I wanted to try that out. Since this is an older machine, I thought I might as well try out native compilation to maybe get a bit of better performance on here. Because this is still the ThinkPad X200 I installed Alpine on in a previous video. As you can see by this beautiful, not modified at all DWN. And the ST that doesn't have any scrollback. So yeah. Alright, so far so good. So now we should have Emacs. And if we launch that up, okay. So I guess we're not using pure GTK. Interesting. So yeah. Alright, let's uninstall it. No, we need dos and we need del. And then I'll just install the GTK3 version, I think. Yeah. But also with native compilation. Because why not? So as you can see, I have not tried this out before. All right, let's start up Emacs again. And this time it doesn't give us any weird errors. Cool. And as I said in the beginning, not only do I want to show you how to install Emacs, because I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Except for the catch that you don't want to install the Emacs package only, because then you don't get the actual program. But I also want to show you how to set the Emacs daemon up with OpenRC, because so as far as I know, this Emacs package doesn't actually come with an OpenRC daemon file. So if we do status Emacs, service, okay, so yeah, the problem is I've set it up before because I wanted to compile Emacs from source on this machine, because I honestly was tricked with the whole Emacs package thing. I mean, I installed it and then I couldn't start Emacs, so I thought, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna compile from source. And this was before I upgraded to Alpine 322, so it was still Emacs 29, I think. And then I set up the whole daemon thing, and it worked and all. So yeah, but I've looked it up in the package index, and because if we look at that, if we look at, for example, so we installed this one, and if we go down here and go to contents of package, we can actually search, or we can see all the files that are located in a certain path. And for example, in the Etsy directory, it doesn't provide anything. So it also doesn't provide an OpenRC daemon file. And we can look at the Emacs package, and it also doesn't provide anything in the Etsy directory. Yeah, or we can do the water star, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so no OpenRC file. And I have noted down the whole process I went through, and that is I searched for Emacs OpenRC, and I found an entry on the Gentoo wiki, which isn't actually this, but which is this here, right here. So GNU Emacs, blah blah, it goes through all the compilation flags that Gentoo uses, blah blah. And down here there is a section about daemon and OpenRC, because by default Gentoo of course also uses OpenRC, as does Alpine. And on OpenRC there's this Emacs daemon package, which I don't think it exists on Alpine. I mean, I've looked through this and I haven't found anything related to daemon, just some Emacs packages, for example, Margate is here and whatnot. So yeah, so I decided to just hack it together myself. This package is linked here. If you go to the package page, you see this, and if you go to this Git repository, you get this page. And if we now go to, refs or summary, okay, it doesn't matter. There are two branches which are relevant, and that is this daemon branch and this common branch. If you look at the wiki again, there is this OpenRC file, which is supposed to be located in Etsy in a Emacs after installing this package on Gentoo. And then we need to link that, and I have done the same thing. So if I open up that file, which doesn't exist on Alpine, like by default, I've added this. This is the OpenRC run file. So this is just a normal OpenRC file with a start, stop, and stuff like that. So all you need to actually run the process as daemon. And I mean, so far so good. So what you need to do is you need to also link that to Emacs dot and then your username, because you of course want to run the Emacs daemon as your user and not as root. So I've also done that, of course. So here, yeah, so it's a link to this file we just looked at. And I mean, okay, this isn't needed now. This was needed when I installed Emacs from source, but if we now look at which Emacs, it's located as at user bin Emacs, which this OpenRC file expects. And then we also need to create, first we need to create this directory, and then we need to add this second file. So we need to add two files, or well, three if you count the configuration. And I've added this, but well, we'll get to it. So this second file, oh yeah, and I should have mentioned where I get this OpenRC file. So you need to go to the Emacs daemon branch, and then to tree, and then there is this emacs.rc. And if we look at that, we see the contents I've pasted in this file I've just opened. So yeah, so far so good. And yeah, so there's also this config file, as I've just mentioned, and you can also copy that to this path right here, which I've also done. So and here you could also change the path, but I hacked it together with this symbolic link. Yeah, but this doesn't matter now that we've installed the package properly. All right, but back to that second important file, and that is located in user libexec Emacs, and it's this Emacs wrapper file. Because if we look at this file again, it doesn't actually call Emacs, it calls this Emacs wrapper script. So we need to also add that. Yes, so this is it. And where you find this is if you go to refs again, and then Emacs common, and then tree, and then here it is, emacs-repo.sh, and yeah, these are the same content as here. Then we need to make it executable, and then I eventually realized, because it didn't work, I eventually realized that this is a bash script and that I needed to install bash. So yeah, I did that. And after that, you can finally call the script with start, and it starts the daemon. And if we now use rc service, if I can type, emacs.nic status, we see it started. And if we try to stop it, it stops. And if we call status again, it says, okay, stopped. And if we start it again, it starts. So yeah, it's a normal daemon. And how you connect to this is, I mean, you know this probably if you've ever used Emacs, but it's through this Emacs client program with, for example, the -c option, and then it opens up a new frame. And we can type something into this. This is a test, for example, and we can open up Emacs client again, and we see the same contents. So yeah, so that's how you set up the Emacs daemon with as an OpenRC service. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Again, this Gentoo wiki entry, I mean, you just search for Gentoo Emacs and you find it. And these pages are linked. And that's just the package index. I think that's all that's important to know for installing Emacs on Alpine and actually using it with the daemon and not having to launch the program every time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show you in this video. I hope this was useful, and have a nice day.